Do you also struggle with procrastination like I have struggled for the years? Have you also wondered that despite your best intentions and willpower, you lose motivation, you lose your energy, and after some days of some motivation, some effort, you're back to the same old you, to the square one. Now I feel you. I can just resonate with you because it has happened with me for years until I really found the reason behind it. I researched through it. And then when everything clicked for me, life has never been the same. Before I go any deeper, I will tell you something right away that it is not a 1 day journey because learning something through a podcast or a video is one thing, but really able to go deep into it through practice is something else. In reality, practice will teach you the real wisdom. This is just strict, regulated knowledge for you to actually put into action. One more truth I want to share with you before we go deeper is that your procrastination is not laziness at all. That is your brain's survival strategy. It is simply your brain protecting you, but just in the wrong way. Once you gain true, clear understanding of how the brain works, and what needs to be done in order for you to actually control your brain, life will not be the same. You will not have issues of procrastination. So basically, your brain is designed to protect you, not make you happy. The way it works is that your brain has two parts. One is the limbic brain. This part of your brain is called the reptile brain, which is there for your survival. And then your brain has another part, an advanced part, is the prefrontal cortex. That part of your brain is responsible for creativity, rationalization, and critical thinking. Because your brain is designed to protect you, it will do everything in its power to ensure your survival in the most easiest, quickest way. And this is the reason why you fall for instant gratifications, why you eat cookies, immediate pleasure, why you will watch notifications and Instagram and watch reels, immediate pleasure. Your brain is trying to protect you by taking the route of instant, immediate gratification. But it is when you do those difficult, productive tasks which requires mental energy that do not give you immediate pleasure. This is where the growth happens. But this is where the difficult thing is because you have to overcome the instant gratification desires and pleasure seeking urges of your limbic brain. So if you see, your brain is simply innocent. It is doing its main primary job to protect you. But if you want to do tasks and take actions that will actually make you fulfilled, this requires you to actually control your brain, train your brain for long lasting fulfillment, for not surrendering to instant gratification and taking the route of lasting happiness. This is where you need to train your brain, and this requires you to have clarity about what you need to train your brain about and practice and practice and practice until it becomes a habit. And the moment it becomes a habit, and your brain feels safe with it. So now the survival is safe around that productive habit, which may have been difficult in the first place. Now, because your brain is feels safe with it due to enough familiarity and enough repetition of those brain cells being formed through repetition, now doing that task or actions will not be difficult. And it is in this space of where you're surrendering your instant gratification and replacing it with painful tasks. Initially, it is painful, to where those painful tasks become so easy for you because of safety and repetition that you will overcome your procrastination and you'll be able to be productive. This is how you beat procrastination. This is how, through practice and consistent effort, you overcome procrastination. But it's easier said than done. And this is why you need to understand a couple of things. So I'll share with you 5 factors that contribute to procrastination. Number one, setting big goals that's beyond your competency zone. Now, setting goals and being audacious about them, it's beautiful. But if you have not ran for 5 kilometers and you want to climb the Mount Everest, you will lose, you will feel disappointed, and then you will ultimately lose hope. So, what you want to do is make sure you set goals or you want to develop a habit that is audacious but not beyond your practice zone. So, for example, if you don't have a morning routine and tomorrow you're wishing that you will wake up, drink a coffee, then you'll meditate, then you'll go for a run, then you will come and start bathing and then go for the day, and you've never done anything in your morning routine ever. You may do it for 1 day or 2 day, but third day you will lose 100%. And I have done this mistake 100 times. So rather, you want to start small and build your muscle. What I would recommend in that case is that the first thing you should do, and you should do it for a couple of weeks until you take one more thing, is that, for example, for your morning routine, the first thing you should do is making up your bed. So if you've never made up your bed and now you start making up your bed, and making up your bed may not be the most luxurious, incredible thing, but you're building that habit, you're building that mental muscle. And as you build that mental muscle, and now you have consistent days of making up your bed, which is easy, which is building your mental muscle. Now you can stack one more thing on it, which is like taking a cold shower. Then you do it for certain days. Now you can stack one more thing on it. And this is how you will build momentum. But if you're trying to do five things in your morning routine and you have not done one, then you will lose. And that is where you need to understand that building audacious, but the goals, the habit that you know are easy and you can do is important, so you can build that muscle and then you build momentum. Second, we have identity attachment to being a procrastinator. We have repeated these words, these phrases so many times, like, I'm a procrastinator, I procrastinate. And the thing with that is, the more you speak these words, the difficult it will become for you, because the more you repeat these words, the more your brain is becoming familiar with it. And as with familiarity, it's becoming safe with it. And now you have said this word, I'm a procrastinator, procrastinate, and it has become such an integral part of your identity. At this stage, you will take actions congruent to your identity, because that's the law. We will always take actions congruent to our identity. So you want to break this habit, never say these things like, I'm a procrastinator, I procrastinate ever again, and replace this affirmation, which had become your identity, to another affirmation, and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until it replaces that old identity. So if you have spoken, I procrastinate and I am a procrastinator, you want to replace it with, I'm a warrior, I'm a massive action taker. I'm a creative and disciplined person. I'm a massive action taker. And you want to speak it with enthusiasm. You want to speak it with consistency. You want to speak it with energy, not just words. You want to infuse emotion with it. And you got to do it for at least 66 to 90 days, every day, multiple times, before this identity of being a procrastinator or I'm a procrastinate is replaced. This is so vitally important until you really, really like develop that mental muscle and take actions of productivity and priority. This is so, so vital that you replace the old identity with the old identity and replace the habit of procrastination and calling yourself a procrastinator to building the habit of a productive person and seeing yourself and calling yourself as a productive person. Third, cluttered environment. You will struggle a lot and eventually procrastinate if you have a physical environment that is cluttered. Why? Because all of these physical elements have energy. And if your environment is cluttered and you want to be clear and productive, your brain will have to fight with the irregularities and clutteredness of this physical environment. And ultimately, you will lose your willpower. And once you lose your willpower, your brain will naturally take into your survival mode to preserve your energy, to preserve you, and then it will take the route of instant gratification. So cluttered environment is a big contributor to procrastination. And if you think you're procrastinating a lot, just ask yourself, take a moment and see your physical environment and tell yourself the environment is clear or cluttered. A cluttered environment is a sign of procrastination. Procrastinators always have cluttered environments. You change the one, you change the another. Fourth is, they have no systems for creativity. Your brain has a limited mental energy. Your brain has a limited willpower. It's not like today you call to willpower and the willpower and the creativity and the willpower will come to you. Doesn't work like that. So you have to create space for the habits, tasks that are important to you and give it your time, the clarity, the calmness, so that you can actually execute on those tasks and goals. And then you also have to have space for rest and recovery. Most people are just basically jumping from one task to another, from WhatsApp to YouTube to replying on the emails to work on something that is productive to like answering the calls of their parents. And that's the cycle they're in. Imagine how much information your brain has to take and process. So, how will it actually be productive? So, that's the one reason why people struggle with procrastination because they're overwhelmed with so much information and they don't have space for creativity. And number fifth is having awful mornings. How you start your day is how you live your day. And how you have your days is how you will have your weeks, then your months, and then your year. Your morning is the most pivotal, incredible part of your day. If you don't have a morning routine, you don't have a life. And you say, Tushar, well, I'm a beginner. I actually don't have a morning routine. I'm a habit of watching my phone and watching my emails and on social media. So, how do I overcome this? The first thing is you want to actually go to that extreme and delete your social media and delete the email from your phone and leave it for your laptop once you're in your office or into your workplace. But if this is extreme for you right now, you want to switch off your phone and leave the phone away from your eyes in a different room or preferably outside your room, maybe in your car. That way you wake up in the mornings, you don't have that urge to watch your phone. Maybe the urge will be there initially, but because the phone is not there, you will not have to use a lot of willpower to fight that urge. And then what you want to do once the phone is taken care of, which is the biggest problem, you want to practice one habit. One easiest thing that you will do to actually go from lazy mornings, awful mornings to actually productive mornings. And what I advise is making up your bed and drinking water. Start with that. Start with every day you wake up, the first thing you do, just make up your bed. It takes you one moment. And that's the famous YouTube speech of the Navy SEAL from the US. He says that if you want to change your life, start with making up your bed. Do that first thing, the minimum thing. Make up your bed and you will immediately feel fulfillment. Imagine you coming to your room and the bed is messed up. You're going to have a messed up day and you're going to have a messed up life, relationships, everything. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So have that. And then on top of that, drink water, hydrate yourself. Your body just has spent 7, 8 hours in the mode of no water. It needs water. And hydration is life, life is hydration. You do these two things, then you can build on that from exercising to cold water showers to going for a walk to meditating. You can do all of that. These two are the basics. And if you can't do the basics, you cannot just jump and fly. It does not happen. You can go for a few days, but that's the mistake of a rookie, which I've done many times, which you may do also do. You may have think of yourself, you know what, I can do it. I'm different. But you're not different. If you don't have a mental muscle already built up, you will not go far. So build yourself step by step, step by step, step by step. Don't go too far. Something I've done myself is that when I went to live in a monastery, all of the monks would wake up at 3:30 a.m. And I started doing that. And I did succeed for a couple of weeks, but I would immediately fall back to again waking up at 7:30 and 8:30. Nowadays, I'm just simply waking up by 6, 6:30. It requires a lot of humility to take this step, but I'm being humble now. 6 and 6:30 is my 5:45 to 6:30 is my bandwidth. And then I will build on that. I will eventually go to 4:30, but right now this is where I am. I want to be consistent only in this area right now, this time zone, and then I can build on that. But 4 a.m. I can do for a few days or maybe a few weeks, but I will lose it because that's a big jump. The mental muscle is not there. So understand this part very well. So now I'll share with you how to actually overcome procrastination. The first thing is pick up a habit and build up on that habit every day. That's your first most important thing. Practice, practice, practice only and only on one thing. And for now, be willing to lose on many other things. Why? Because you have to build the mental muscle. Something I'm repeating to you again. No one is the person that you admire, the person that you are inspired by. They're not there just like because they just made a decision today and they got there. No, they built and built and built and built themselves. They practice and practice and practice and practice. And now they are at that stage where they have so many good, incredible habits stacked up over the years that they're a person that you admire. So they're not a disciplined person. They're just a person who have certain sets of disciplined habits, certain set of high performance habits that allow them to live with great execution and productivity. And if you really dig into their lives, they also have spaces where they're not a disciplined person, but they're also sort of like taking it easy and having a chill time. Same goes for you. Pick up one area of your life which is very important to you right now. Practice and practice and practice and be consistent only on one thing. Let your focus be diverted towards only on that one thing and be willing to lose it on many other things. That's the first and most important step to over procrastination because once your mind has a mental evidence of seeing yourself walking through your talk and building consistency, that will allow you to actually take it to the next step and the next step. And that's how you will go to the journey. Second, have an accountability partner. Don't do it alone because your mind will eventually beat you. You know, it's been said that it's easier to control the kingdom than to control the mind. Have an accountability partner who will help you, who will control you. So, investing in coaching, investing in a community, or having someone whom you have great respect towards, but who are also doing very good in their lives and they're willing to support you, have someone who you will report to, who you will give your report card to, because this goes a long way. Because there you will not have your excuses and reasons that you can speak to yourself. There it's all about performance. And I cannot tell you how important is it for you. If you want to change your life, start investing, invest fast, invest quicker, and your life will be changing faster. Third thing is, which I already shared, have a clean physical environment. All of this stuff you have in environment, they have energies. And the environment is cluttered and messy, it's gonna create such mental and emotional toll. All of your willpower will be used to just fight the environment. To have a clear environment. And if the first step you need to take after watching this video, or as you're watching this video, is to have a clear, clean environment. Do that, and life will become easy. And you will see how much you will feel fulfilled and how much your willpower will be freed and how productive you're ready to actually do the task, do the work that you want to do once your physical environment is cleared, because that frees up the space for your mental and emotional power. Fourth, clean up your mental environment. Forgive and let go of all the people and the events where you're carrying resentment, regret, and guilt. It is so vitally important, perhaps even more important than the physical, but it starts from the physical. Then you go to the mental. All of the energies, emotions you're carrying from the people from the past that you're still not let go and you're still holding on within your system, they are literally consuming your energy. They're literally fighting with the immune system. They are lowering your productivity. And most people are sort of like they get tough and ignorant and start suppressing them. But suppression isn't freedom. Suppression is entanglement. The more you suppress, the more you're getting entangled into suppressing. And once you're suppressed like that, you cannot be free like that. So let yourself let go of everything that you have suppressed, that you have holding strong energy towards. And if you're having a hard time with that, I invite you to come and join my webinar where I will help you to actually in real time overcome all of these mental and emotional suppressions you have done and free up your energy in a very fast and quick way proved by neuroscience, high performance living, and spirituality. Fifth is, if you could exercise every day to gain high dopamine and serotonin and push yourself. Exercising is one of the most easiest and most incredible ways to gain dopamine and that serotonin. Because when you push yourself in the gym or when you go for a run or when you do some sort of martial arts or dance, within like right away, you get that high dopamine, that beautiful, joyful dopamine, which signals to your mind that this thing is incredible for me. I should build upon that. And that builds the foundation for you to actually do the tasks and the habits that are important for you. So when you go for exercise and you know what, you build the dopamine. Now the energy is high. In that state, you can easily do other tasks which are important for you, which are critical for you, which will not require a lot of willpower for you because you have literally built up your willpower through running, through exercising. And this habit will go the long way. If you can't take care of your body, you can't take care of anyone. So your body will tell you how good you're doing in your life. Number six is create intentional time for deep rest, reflection, and recovery. The three R's. You cannot push yourself for so long. Doesn't matter how productive you are or how unproductive you are. You have limited bandwidth of mental energy and emotional energy. You need to have time for rest, recovery, and reflection. You'd have quality time for sleep, which is rest. You have quality time for recovery, which is basically through walking, maybe cold showers, maybe deep conversations. And you have quality time for reflection, which is through journaling. And if you're a beginner, I don't want you to go deep into it. Basically, don't watch phone before the bed. And again, step up a boundary. Keep the phone away around 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. before you go to sleep, at least 2 hours, and spend time just reading or reflecting and having quality sleep. It is vital because most people are in the habit of just running, running, jumping, jumping. And because that habit is so strong, they cannot actually detach and take rest. So they're jumping and jumping and doing so many things and not getting anywhere. That pattern has to be broken. And you do that by watching this video and doing it like right away. Make a commitment. 1 hour before bed, you will switch off your phone, leave it away, and just take quality rest and build on that. That's it for this video. I could add more to into this, but I will finish this video by saying that if you want to be a high performer, the best way to do it is to surround yourself with high performers. That happens when you give yourself the space, the permission, and invest in high performance environments. So I invite you to come and join my webinar. And from there, I will show you the step by step process where I can take you from hollow success and procrastination to peak flow state and massive success while creating real fulfillment. When you surround yourself with the high performers, you become a high performer. That's just the way. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. I have more content coming your way. I'll see you very soon.